Okay guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're obviously talking about Noob, Saibot and Sub-Zero, which I have seen is definitely the most popular team since his release. That is definitely for sure. Now, we're going to get into what I think about this team exactly, and should you be running it, should you be not, and I'll try and keep it as concise as possible. But as usual, if you guys like this type of content, please drop a like on the video. It helps me out in spreading my content throughout YouTube. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'm guaranteed to answer you within the 24 hours. And hit the subscribe button, costs you guys nothing, helps me out a lot. We're on the road to 500 subs and soon to be 1000 subs, and we'll be, you know, moving on beyond all that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, let's get into some general info first about this team. So I'm going to be totally honest, even though this is the most popular Noob team, this is definitely not the best Noob team. And let's get into why it's not the best, and then we'll get into what Sub-Zero can do for you a little bit, and then I'll start talking about the nitty-gritty of all the moves. So first of all, a Kameo Sub-Zero is the best anti-zoning Kameo in the entire game. This move alone, Arctic Armour, literally makes you not even react to projectiles. Even Jax's ground pound is obsolete to this, by the way, if you didn't know. So that is something. So why would you have the best anti-zoning Kameo with possibly one of the best anti-zoning characters in the entire game when, you know, you have literal, you know, teleport? I get that you're not the best zoning character because, you know, they added a cooldown to all of the shadow moves, which, yeah, it's fair enough. But yeah, that's one reason why you wouldn't want to play Noob and Sub-Zero. Kold shoulder is another move. Now, this move, if you don't know, is only +1 on block. You can see it starts over in 23 frames. It takes a long time to start up. So this means anybody with armor in the game can literally go through you. It doesn't cover any armored gaps, right, if you use it as a summon. So if I were to do this, right, there's a gap. If I was to do this, there's still a gap no matter what. So that's sort of an OS option, and I never recommend doing that. Another thing that Sub-Zero doesn't help you with is the portal setups in the corner. As you guys know, every video I've given you the portal setups. That way you can break the opponent's armor. It stops them from jumping, stops them from mashing, and if they just decide to block, you end up being +6. So that is what you have. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. We're going to get into some nitty-gritties in a minute, but let's talk about some things that Sub-Zero does do for you that is pretty nice. First of all, you get 50 health. Now, obviously 50 health is not the biggest amount of health. It's not amazing, but it can make you survive maybe one more combo, right? So if that's something that's making you pick up cameos with Noob, then obviously I can see you guys doing that. Iced out. Let's take this man off block. This move right here makes combos very, very easy. I kid you not, this makes, even though, right, I know Noob Saibot is not the most complex character in this game. However, he has the biggest kit in the entire game. What do I mean by this? This character probably has the most amount of special moves and strings altogether in the entire game. So it's a lot to remember, right? But with Sub-Zero, he gives you time to think and do things, right? With the iced out move. He also makes it easier to, you know, do things like this, right? You can use Portal and Ghost Ball in the same combo, which I have in optimal combos for you guys. So, like I said, it's a very easy confirm. Deep Freeze, which is Down Kameo. This move with Noob is probably one of the better moves that Sub-Zero gives Noob. The reason being, if you don't know, Noob has a lot of gaps in his strings, right? So let me just put this man on all and reversal chop chop, right? So if you guys play Noob or you're new to playing Noob, you're gonna know Noob has a lot of gaps in his strings, right? He has that, he also has this, he has 1, 2, 3, he has 1, 2, 1, 2, right? There's a lot of strings with a lot of gaps. However, when you go and use Deep Freeze, which I'll show you guys how to use it exactly, but when you go to use it, right, you can see the opponent gets a freeze and it gives you enough time to actually set up some very strong and optimal combos against them. Now, scaling on this move compared to this, it's all the exact same, right? So when you freeze the opponent, you can only, like, it's literally the same damage scaling, so don't think it's any different. The only difference is, which we'll get into later, is whether you freeze the opponent while they're in the air or while they're grounded, and I'll get into the nitty-gritty of that. So I just wanted to quickly mention that since Sub-Zero technically doesn't have an ambush move that continues combos, this makes it so that you don't have a way to meterlessly confirm teleport into a full combo, right? So you just keep those sorts of things in mind, right? So let's say he throws a projectile, I do teleport, and now I can't continue the combo as I would with like Tremor, for example, because I did that in the last video. You would literally have to, all you get with Sub-Zero is literally just the teleport. So keep that in mind also. And due to Iced Out being the way it is, you can also confirm into Embrace Khaos mid-combo, right? And it's very, very simple. So all you got to do is do a grounded confirm into Iced Out, pop Embrace Khaos, right? And then you do the Embrace Khaos combo, which is bloody darn, probably not going to hit it, but yeah. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the first move. Okay, so the first move that you get is Arctic Armor, right? Now, like I said, you have teleport. You can teleport from anywhere, right? You can teleport from the air, you can teleport from the ground, you can teleport on top of Baraka's head if you feel like it, right? So you have one of the best anti-zoning tools in the game with the teleport. Now, granted, if you want to make something of it, you must spend the meter, right, to get that extra damage. But even though I said Arctic Armor is not the best move for Noob, how can you use it besides of the anti-zoning? And I'm going to show you guys this real quick. So I have Baraka here on a very easy example. Obviously some characters are going to be a lot harder and they have a lot harder timings, but just to show you guys, this can get you a guaranteed punish with Arctic Armor. So most characters in this game, what they like to do is they like to do full string into some sort of move that keeps them safe or even plus, and then they keep their pressure going. These characters are Stryker, for example, right? The Kameo Stryker, you have Kameo Kano, you have Kameo Sektor, right? These characters do this stuff really well. And if they do this, so you guys are going to see that Baraka is going to do a string into a homing missile, and that's going to stop me from punishing, right? As you can see, I go to punish him with a full-on string. Let's make it optimal, right? We want to do full 4 into teleport. We can't because the homing missiles catch you. But if you have Sub-Zero Kameo, he can confirm the punish for you, right? Right, you are no longer affected by the rockets. So that is basically how you would use Arctic Armor besides the anti-zoning capacity, right? I'll show you guys one more time. Alright, nice and easy. There you go, and you got your full punish without getting interrupted by the Sektor homing missile rockets. So Yes, that is something you also get. So let's talk about Kold Shoulder. And we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of this move. So as I said before, right, this move starts up in 23 frames, and you can see this is 0 on block there. Sometimes it's a little different. It's +1 there. So it's around that range of being neutral and slightly plus. The best use of this move is not in neutral and in the mid-screen, I should say. It's in the corner. Now, even if you were to use it just like this, you can see I'm -1. So still not the best use, right? Using the summon version of it. But Sub-Zero has a capability of cancelling Arctic Armor into the Kold Shoulder. And this stops a lot of characters from punishing strings, and what happens with this is usually there's an armored gap, so you know they armor you through it. What I'm about to show you guys literally breaks armor and ends up being plus on block as well. As you guys can see, it literally broke the armor, right? So that stops you from getting punished in 2-1-4. It also stops you from getting armored punished in 1-2-3, for example. And as you can see, you can break armor with the 1-2-1-2 string as well. So you're probably saying, oh, well, what if they just don't armor and they block? Well, like I said before, if they decide to do that, then what you get is you're now +7 on block. So this is literally a guaranteed strategy in the corner. You're probably saying that's only 2-1-4. Well, you can also do this of 1-2-3, right, like I did before, and now that's +12. Depending on the timing, you can make it even more plus or less, depending on the gap you're trying to leave, so you can bait the opponent. And then obviously there was 1-2-1-2. Which, as you can see, is 0. 1-2-1-2 is not their best string, but if you delay it a bit, you can get the plus frames on it. You can see that's probably the best way of doing it, and it's only +3, which, if you play Noob Saibot, you know is not the best frame data. So you definitely want to do it off your 1-2-3, and you obviously want to do it off your 2-1-4. And yeah, that's basically how you use Arctic Armor into Kold Shoulder. Just remember that this strategy literally takes up a full cameo meter, and as you can see, it takes a very long time for Sub-Zero to get that cameo meter back. So that is also something to keep in mind. Just like any other character in the game with Sub-Zero cameo, you can also set up Arctic Armor at the end of a combo and go into a keep away zoning, anti-zoning-ish playstyle. With Noob, it's not so much zoning, right, because you have the anti-zoning, you're trying to bait projectiles and everything, but I'll quickly show you guys that. As you can see, you can set up into your now, you know, anti-zoning, bait projectiles, and use your teleport and all that sort of thing. So if that's something you're interested in doing, there's also that option for you. I don't have that in any of the part of the video. This is basically it, because you don't want to really spend a full cameo meter just on that, but if you want to, you guys know that it is possible. Let's get into Iced Out, and as you can see, this is the combo move. It starts on 23 frames, stops the opponent. Obviously don't do this on block, you will get punished for it severely, so keep that in mind. Now, Iced Out does a lot of damage on your grounded confirmed combos, so you know that's any grounded string into Iced Out. This does a lot of damage. Now, in terms of combos, how much meter should you spend? I'm going to be totally honest, most of your combos should either be 1 meterless or 2 spending 1 bar, or if you really need that extra damage, 2 bars. There are not a lot of instances that you should be spending all 3 bars with this character, just because, first of all, some 3-bar combos do just straight up less damage, and there's not enough gravity to do the combo anymore. So yeah, keep that in mind. Now, we have some instances where you can do conversion combos. Now, I'm talking about, you know, off of raw teleport, basically. Enhanced one, which is not coming out. There we go. You obviously have a full screen shadow tackle conversion, and of course the portal, right? So yeah, you can spend the 3 bars on conversions. It's not necessary, and the non-optimal ones have been left out of this video in the combo section. I only have the ones that are actually worth doing. Another thing about Iced Out is it increases the damage scaling on Fatal Blow a lot, which means you're not getting a lot of damage doing your Fatal Blow combos. In fact, in most cases, you are getting less damage for hitting Iced Out during your Fatal Blow combo than you would do just straight up doing a normal Fatal Blow combo, for example. So keep that in mind as well. I've literally only left the optimal ones that do more damage in the combo section. So if there's no Fatal Blow combo in like a specific part of the combos, like for example in the corner I left it out, in conversions I left it out, is because if you did Iced Out into Fatal Blow, it just doesn't do enough damage compared to just raw doing the normal Fatal Blow noob combo. So yeah, that's the reason those are not there. Now let's get into Deep Freeze, Sub-Zero's newest move of U2. And like I said with Noob, this move is actually not too bad. So the way you use this move with Noob is you want to use it after baiting your opponent into armoring you, right? Which would be 1-2, and then, you know, you get the armor. So if you did 1-2-3, you get punished, and you bait with 2-1, and then you have 2-1-4 that obviously you get armored through. And even though you can do it of 1-2, 1-2, it is not the best because you don't have enough cancel advantage on it and all that sort of thing. So you're going to use your auto shimmies, which are, you know, 1-2 and 2-1. And these leave enough time that you can bait the opponent into armoring, and then because you would usually, you know, try and armor break them with a standing 1 or something with like a normal character, because you're Noob, you don't break armor that well. Sub-Zero's got your back with Deep Freeze, right? And as you can see, it starts up in 8 frames, so it is a very quick move. Now, Baraka is a character where his armored move is slower than 14 frames. And what I'm going to talk about in a second is you can use this auto shimmy strategy and react to their armor frames, and then you get the punish. Now, these characters all include Takeda, Melina, Kitana, Reiko, Raiden, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Baraka. Right? So this is who you can use the bait against reactively. And I'll show you guys that now. So I'm going to do 2-1 and then bait him into armor. Right? I literally didn't input it straight away. If I inputted it straight away, it'll look like this. Right? And then most likely the opponent Baraka will literally react to it. But if you 2-1 stagger and then use the Deep Freeze move, you can see there's not a lot of time for the opponent Baraka to react. So that is a strategy that you can use. And yes, I have all the conversions for you guys in the Deep Freeze conversion section of the video. So literally it's part of the combos and you guys can get your damage after that. So that's how you can use it. Now, the characters that have armor faster than 14 frames, which is a lot of characters, believe it or not, you would have to literally do 2-1 and then input it straight away. You can't delay it. Same with 1-2, right? You'd have to do it straight away, and this gives you the risk of, you know, getting opened up a lot. So against those characters, I super don't recommend it, but like I said, these characters, I'm going to say again, I do recommend using this strategy against, which is, you know, the 2-1 stagger into deep freeze. You have the 1-2 stagger and into deep freeze, which is not coming out. There we go. So yeah, these characters, like I said, that you can use this strategy against is Takeda, Kitana, Melina, Reiko, Raiden, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Baraka. Let's talk about some special cases in terms of this strategy. Sindel and Quan are literally bugged against deep freeze. Right, so I do deep freeze, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So you guys can see I have Sindel here, and Sindel and Quan both have the same problem. And that is that their moves don't get frozen by deep freeze. Now, as you guys are going to see, if I go to deep freeze here, it says it parries highs, mids, overheads, and jump in attacks. And jumping attacks. Which means if you do an aerial move, and you go to hit the, noob in the air, whether with a jump in or a special in the air. I've checked this with Kung Lao and Nitara because they're the ones with the most obvious dive kicks. It still freezes them. However, for whatever reason, Sindel and Quan don't obey this rule. Now, you're going to see that Sindel's is an overhead. Quan Chi's is also an overhead. I don't know why it's not working, but for whatever reason it's not. And I'm just going to do it straight into Iced Out so you guys, say I've mistimed or anything, right? It literally doesn't work against Sindel and Quan Chi for whatever reason, right? So don't use deep freeze against these two characters at all. Smoke is also another very weird case in how he punishes you or how he gets hit by deep freeze. Smoke bomb it is. Right, so as you can see, I'm going to do Iced Out straight away, and because Smoke, technically when he does his armored move, he doesn't attack, this is what happens, right? He's literally standing there behind me, and now he can hit me with a low. So I'll show you guys what it looks like altogether. So I'm gonna react to Smoke doing the armored move that he's going to do, as if he was going to armor punish 214. So this is what happens, right? And now I can literally just punish him, right? What if the Smoke wanted to literally do a jump in, right? This is what happens. He literally gets frozen mid-air. So, like I said before, this move does work against jumping attacks. But Smoke is a rare case in which he doesn't have a follow-up actual hit from his armored move that actually hits you, and then he can bait you into doing this. So, not the best use against Smoke either. There are some other cases in which there are some better options. So, if Peacemaker, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll just quickly say them. Peacemaker uses his armored move instead of deep freezing, which also doesn't work in freezing Peacemaker. It works like Sindel and Quan Chi, where if he does the move, I don't know, he must count as a projectile or something. I don't get it. He doesn't get frozen. So if you're going to, bait Peacemaker into literally armoring you, just duck and he'll go full screen. And honestly, you have so much time to punish him that you can literally use a shadow tackle and it will still get him. So yeah, that's another one. And Homelander's armored move straight up just whiffs on most of Noob's strings, like 2-1 and 1-2. So I recommend not using this against Homelander either, because he's literally just gonna whiff it, and then when he comes back down, you can literally punish him. So yeah. Now, do I recommend that you use Noob and Sub-Zero together as a team? Honestly, if you're quite versed and you're very used to playing Noob, I suggest playing a different cameo, a cameo that offers you a lot more compared to Sub-Zero. However, if you're very new to playing Noob and it takes a lot of time for you, or you're not quite as high skilled, at fighting games, Sub-Zero and Noob is a very good team for you because it's very nice and easy. It's very simple. So yeah, like I said, if you experience, probably use a cameo that gives you more, like, you know, meterless conversions and all that sort of thing. But if you're struggling with Noob, Sub-Zero is a perfect place to start off learning cameos with Noob. That is going to be a Sub-Zero with Noob. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop a like on the video. It helps me spreading my content throughout YouTube. And as usual, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'm happy to answer you within the 24 hours. And please, sub to the channel. It costs you guys nothing. Helps me out a lot. We're on the road to 500 subs. We post 2 videos of MK1 every single week on tutorials on it. Currently on Cyrex and Noob, but obviously we're going to cover Shang very soon as well. I'm going to say this now, I'm going to do some updated Liu Kang cameo ones. They're going to be extremely short because I'm not going to go over the whole cameo bit. I'm literally just going to go over what has changed with them and Liu Kang. So yeah, subscribe if you want more of that content, and I stream once per week on YouTube. So trust me, hit the notification bell. You get notified every time I drop a video and go live. So yeah, thank you for doing that in advance. I'm gonna give you guys some space so you guys can learn all the combos and the conversions and everything. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. See yous.
Moving.